Changing Our Genes to Cure Cancer by Victoria Ledic. Cancer is the second leading cause of death, as approximately 10 million people die from it yearly. As of right now, there is no cure to cancer. But could changing our DNA be the cure? Our DNA makes us who we are. Our DNA determines what proteins our body needs to produce. For example, collagen. Our DNA controls our hair color, eye color, height, and even if we are a human mosquito magnet. Did you know that we share 40% of the same genes as bananas? Our DNA shape is a double helix, or the shape of a fancy staircase. Each strand of DNA contains 4 chemical bases: adenine, or A, guanine, or G, cytosine, or C, and thymine, or T. No matter where you come from, your race, or social status, everyone's DNA is made up of the same 4 letters. Our parents control our genes. For example, if both of your parents have brown eyes, the probability of you having blue eyes is pretty low. Our genes are what make every single person unique. Our physical features come from our genes, but could our personality traits also come from our genetics? This is the nurture versus nature debate. Have you ever heard you are funny just like your mom? That is, because the funny gene is actually a gene found inside each of our cells' nucleus. Scientists are now looking at changing our genes. So if you are upset you are not funny or charismatic, science may be able to change. Genetics is a very confusing topic and may be hard to understand at times. The history of DNA is a long story, as it was first discovered in the 1860s and is still being studied today. One of the most groundbreaking genetic discoveries was the Human Genome Project. The project started in 1990 and was completed in April 2003. The goal of the project was to map out all 3 million of our genes. The Human Genome Project allowed scientists to see hereditary cancer genes as well as finding new medicines to treat these genes. So, how can we change our genes? A promising technology called CRISPR was discovered in March 2002. With CRISPR, scientists may have the ability to remove or correct disease-causing genes or insert new ones that could theoretically cure disease, including cancer. CRISPR is a fairly new technology as it was only tested in the United States in November, but scientists are very excited about the technology. CRISPR has been used to reduce the severity of genetic deafness in mice. This has also been done with human embryos. Russian biologist Denis Rubnikov researched on how to edit the deaf gene, GJB2. CRISPR has also helped cure blood diseases and certain types of cancers in China. CRISPR has not only helped with medicine, but as well with agriculture. CRISPR technology was used to create mushrooms that don't brown easily. So, how does CRISPR help cancer? CRISPR can be used to edit immune cells or T cells so that they are targeted to destroy cancer cells. Blood is taken out from the patients, then scientists genetically engineered the immune cells before returning it to the patient. Scientists are also looking at deleting the gene PD-1. PD-1 acts as a brake on the immune system's defenses. When removing this gene, our cells will be able to fight the cancer cells easier. CRISPR raises many ethical concerns, such as, can genome editing affect the future generations? Since CRISPR and genome editing is fairly new, scientists and researchers are uncertain of the long-term effects. But with the minimal testing they have done, no long-term effects of concern have happened. So, what are my thoughts on genome editing and using CRISPR technology to cure cancer? Personally, I think genome editing is a very promising and exciting idea and should be researched and experimented more. For cancer therapy, genome editing could have less effects on other parts of our bodies. For example, chemotherapy causing hair loss and radiation causing skin sensitivity. I am uncertain of when genome editing will be made available as a new cancer therapy, but much more research has been available since genome editing was introduced into the science world. Thanks for watching on how changing our genes could cure cancer by Victoria Ledic.